All right, welcome to another episode of the Final Percent podcast. This is on the road edition. We are headed to Salt Lake so that we can, not only serve the community, but, get into a state of momentum, a state of movement. We talk a lot about, if you're trying to work out, you got to get into a state of movement. If you're trying to meet new people, you have to get into a state of movement. If you don't want your life to be stagnant, you're going to have some sort of state of movement. And so as we're, going down this road, and it's funny, I think it's like one of the lessons that keeps coming up for me on this is, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I did this drive. And I ended up in the middle of the night, in the middle of a snowstorm. It was super, super scary. Multiple times where I almost ran out of gas. It was, 16 degrees or something. I can't remember what the exact temperature is. And it's just so interesting because now it's a month later and it's during the daytime. I've got a buddy with me who's filming this. Thank you, Owen. But the moral of the story here is there's a lot of times where we have bad experiences, or we encounter bad weather, or we have, the wrong place, wrong time, or right place, wrong time, or just the circumstantial things that make us not want to go down the road again. And one of the things that's been happening, because this is so fresh in my mind, I'm sitting here and I'm going, this is easy. This is just, it's such a breeze going down this road. But I'm not going to lie, when we were getting ready to leave this morning, the memory of that most recent trip down this road was fresh on my heart. And so I was really not looking forward to it. It was very much the freshest thing in my mind. And so as I've been going down this, and I'm going, man, I remember when this road was down to one lane and there was construction and there was weather and I was going, 1 mile an hour, and then we were breezing by it at, 84 miles an hour. I think that's what I had my cruise control on when I noticed this particular thought. But the thing that had occurred to me at that moment was, how many times do you have the bad relationship, and then it starts messing up your new relationship? You have the bad job interview, or maybe you're a speaker. Just to be very clear, I have had so many bad speeches, but I learned to not let that bad speech mess up my next speech. And so as we have the past, and as we are experiencing things, maybe there's an investment opportunity, maybe you're looking for a mentor, or you're looking for a coach, and you're like, oh man, I had this coach and I did this and I did that is not for me. It's just not true. It's not only different roads. Some of you need to go over the same road again, but in a different season, or at a different time, or with a different person, or with another person at all in my case. But that's the thing that I started to recognize and realize is, so often we go down these roads and it was the wrong season, or we ran into a circumstance. And then we close that road, we burn that bridge, we say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. That I have to find a new road, a different road. I'm not doing that anymore. Some of you have roads that need to be revisited because you're stronger, you're wiser, you're a different person, you have more to contribute, you would drive at a different speed at a different time with different people. So whether this is in your relationship, whether it's in your marriage, whether it is in your, whether it's just in your physical travels, okay? Maybe we're too quick to shut off those roads. Maybe we had the family member, maybe our parents, they were entrepreneurs and we saw them always stressed out. I need to go get a corporate job and I'm not following in their footsteps. That was a different season. It was different weather. They were different people. Some of us need to reopen roads that are available to us. Some of us need to go down the path again. So don't just go, well, that didn't work, I'm going to try another road, because a lot of us think of the thing like the Edison comment. You know, he didn't find how to do the light bulb or whatever. He found 10,000 ways that didn't work. So what they're doing is they're saying, hey, why don't you try, that was just a way that didn't work, now I'm going to try a new road. That's not always the case. That's not actually what we need to do. And so what I want to just invite you to think about is, instead of shutting off those roads, those dreams, those hopes, those wishes, those seeds that are planted down in your soul, if you're wondering, man, why can't I find the road? I've tried 10,000 different roads. Maybe revisit some of those roads, because there's a good chance you just did it at the wrong time, or you did it with the wrong people, you did it in the wrong vehicle, or maybe you didn't do it with anyone at all. Maybe you just need a buddy. Maybe you just need a community. So with that being said, if you're listening to this podcast for the first time, I'd love for you to join our community. You can find us at thefinalpercent.com, or come join our Facebook community. It's go into the Facebook, wherever you're doing Facebook, and go to the Final Percent Network is our Facebook group. Come hang out with us there, meet some of the community. We have different events for everyone you can imagine, every business you can imagine, and most of our events are family friendly, so you can bring your kids. So come hang out with us, and don't be so quick to shut down those roads that you've been on, that maybe you just had a bad experience and you're scared to go on again. Because just like Jim Rohn says, don't wish it were easier, wish you were stronger, wish you were better. Well, you're stronger today than you were then. You're better today than you were then. So revisit and explore some of the places that you might be missing just because you're trying to find the new. Revisit some of those roads, and I think that you're going to find gold. This has been an episode on the road of the Final Percent Podcast.